How's it going, Andy? How's everything?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, so far. It's been very uneventful, so that's a good thing.
That is, at this stage of life, is there something you need to get out of spring training? I mean, do you have to answer any questions physically to yourself out of spring training?
Yeah, no, it's just get through healthy. That is literally it. Just get my pitch count up and hopefully continue to just my legs get stronger each time out and then other than that, just health. All my pitches already, feel right where they need to be. And it's just a matter of just hoping I can hold what I have right now and throughout the rest of spring training into the season.
And when you say health now, it's, you're not just talking about arm. You're talking about everything else in your body, your back, your legs. It's been the other things that have plagued you in the last couple of years.
For sure, yeah. And you don't ever know. I mean, you don't take it for granted either.
Right.
I mean, you just look at Phil. Phil's covering first base.
Right.
And Phil's young and covering first base, and he's been out for a couple of weeks now. So you just never
for the best. Right?
Exactly.
He told us the 40-year-old was giving the 26-year-old a little guff about being the guy that broke his back on the first day.
Yeah, you know what though? I've been around here long enough. You don't say a whole lot to the guys that are on the training room table, because if you do, you'll be sitting right there next to them. You'll be sitting right there next to them sooner rather than later. So
staying healthy is a tricky thing. It is. It's funny. Fans don't realize how hard it is for people to stay healthy. And it's amazing in baseball how many, in football we expect injuries, but it's amazing in baseball how many injuries there are.
There's a lot. It's incredible. I mean, as for any team, you can have a pulled hamstring by any of your position players. You can have someone dive and dislocate their shoulder, and then your team, your lineup, not even pitching, because the arm injuries are going to come with pitching, but your lineup can look completely different and change the whole season for you. So it's just, you just hold your breath and hope you can get out of spring training healthy.
When you talk about what a difference a year makes, last year at this time you were still retired. I think the thoughts were kind of still going through your head, but you had an accelerated spring training after you decided to come back. Now you've got a much longer spring training deal with. How are you pacing yourself through this right now compared to, say, the last couple of years when 1 year you weren't even pitching at all?
Right. Well, it's been a lot easier for me, obviously, just because we have such a long spring training. So I have so much time that they've taken me really slow as far as just my bullpen work, giving me an extra day here or there, which has really helped me as far as my legs. Being at 40, they've got me and Mo on a little abbreviated running program, and that's helped with my soreness. But at this time last year, I knew that I was playing, and by this time I'd thrown a ton of bullpens at home, because before I was going to walk into spring training here and say, guys, I want to do this and it get out. I had to know that I could still do this and compete at this level. So I was ready to go. The Yankees slowed me down, I think, thinking, hey, you got to go through a full spring training. We got to make sure that you're healthy, and we want to make sure you're ready if we get to October. And so they didn't want to rush me. But, when I came down here for spring, obviously only me and Cashman kind of knew about it and how. But I was pretty much ready to go at that time.
You and I have been having these chats now for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable. I had Derek here before that. I'll have Mariano later. It's remarkable. The 96 Yankees are now a generation ago.
Yeah.
Does it seem like that when you come to spring training now? Does it seem like it's that long ago?
When you think of everyone, the guys on the team, where they're at now, how long it's been since you've seen them. And when you bring it up and you're trying to think back and you're like, man, it's been a long time, And then, though, but then also you look at it like, man, you blink your eyes and it flew by, There's just so much in between, and so it goes by fast.
When you see glimpses, when you see yourself pitching 96 against John Smoltz, Game 5, does that look like the same guy?
Yeah, I think so. Especially,
it does to me. I don't know if it does to you.
Especially the way I'm throwing the ball right now, because there again, and as well, there was a time there where I fell so in love with my cutter,
Absolutely.
And in '96 was still kind of fresh, and I just broke the cutter out in '96. So that was, change up, curveball, working both sides of the plate, where for 3 or 4 years I completely lost the feel of a two-seamer and of my change up.
You miss more bats now than you did then.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
You used to work at, your thing there was you were the master of first and second double plays.
Yeah.
I mean, you were great with men on base. You were as good as there was with pitching out of jams. You now have a lot fewer runners on base pitching now than you did then.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I just, I feel like my command's just a lot better.
Yeah.
I feel like the change of my speeds, an idea of, of what I want to do out there is just so much clearer. So, you want to say almost in the sense that, it is easier. I feel like it's a little bit easier for me.
You're a better pitcher now.
I am. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Completely a better pitcher. I know I'm older, but I feel like I'm a better pitcher.
Is it physically you're better too, or you think you're just smarter?
I think that I'm not as strong. I think physically, as far as just being able to repeat my mechanics, I guess. I mean, that's all I can, because I feel like I can just get the ball right where I want to a lot more than I used to. And, the feel for my curveball, I feel like it's just better in situations when I'm behind an account, when I need to throw it for a strike. I just feel like I can do it better. So, I mean, it's just got to be everything. And mental, it's
well, what you've always had, and this is why you're here, and this is why you've won all these games, is guys have a makeup where they will compete, and they'll compete in big games, and they'll compete during the game when they're in trouble. And that's what you've always done great.